Hello, my name is Pedro. I'm the creator of Mr. P, and welcome to our studio. Earlier on today, I was posting about a dollhouse I made. I'm not sure if last year or 2 years ago, but the truth is, we are already almost in May, and it's unfinished, and we are almost in May, and I haven't done a single thing to finish it, and I don't really fancy doing anymore. So I was thinking about the possibility of selling it. But first, I want to show you around, let's say, and how I made the house. So she's this big. I'm not good with numbers or maths, but if I would have done it now, I would have grabbed an already shaped cardboard box and reshape or cut and make the windows and the doors, instead of joining the 3 walls from scratch and then adding here and there some volumes on the walls. And I'm talking about volumes, and that reminds me why I've started doing this. The idea was to using that dollhouse only as a facade in order to have a scenario or a scenery to photograph my papermache art dolls. This is an example. It's the most famous character I have within my cabinet there, and yes, it's Louis XIV by Rigaud. This one is by me. No, this one is by Mr. P. But I got a bit carried away and started to add here and add there, you know. So let me show you around. I was trying to see how to turn the camera, but wow. But anyway, so imagine this is a whole sheet of cardboard from cardboard box, and this was added, this was added, this was added, and all the decoration here is either dust, air drying clay, cardboard, paper mache, and dust. This was actually an idea from some Renaissance buildings. And up here, well, it's always the same technique basically. It's either solid air drying clay, which I'm not very fond of because it makes the piece rather fragile. Normally I well, as all papier-mâché sculptures, they all have a sort of skeleton out of aluminum foil. Some have, some don't, and also some dust decorations, blah 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 blah. The windows are made out of plastic and cardboard. Not very nice, and I've always thought about making it differently, but I didn't. What I made differently was the ceiling or the roof. Now it was inspired by the chapel at Versailles, and For a previous roof I had tried, I made these. I don't know the name in English, but in French they are called mansards. And the idea was to place them here as an extra decoration. So let's go around. Here is the same sort of idea. Here is the, looks like it was bitten because I've added a medieval tower, because the idea, imagine this is the main, it looks like the main building, but no, but my second or third idea was to create this as a small building, a medieval tower, and then a bigger building, and then another medieval tower and another one like this, with gardens, with cascade. Yeah, crazy. I'm a Leo from July, so I'm a bit, and very creative, so I'm a bit. And so that's why it looks like it was bitten or something. I don't have much light here, but let's try. So this is the interior. These two are already glued. I have here more to place here, and the two others on the other side. The interior was really fun to make. It's not even, nothing within this dollhouse was made with, well, I tried to make with much maths care as I could, but so it let's say it's expressionist, not clumsy. These are they look as if they are marble, and for the effect I used a recipe, let's say, how to make marble paper with shaving foam. You can see it on YouTube. It's fairly easy to do it, and has a 3 different combination with pink, ochre, and green, and these columns here, this one and that one, were hand painted, like very loosely. And the floor is a mix between that technique and also hand painted, hand painted in black. For the ceiling, I was aiming some, during the Baroque period, Portugal has a very, well, actually it's throughout Europe, but it's like boxes. And once I worked at a palace, and it had that sort of ceiling, but somehow I also thought of a rather particular church in France, in Paris, can't remember the name, and which it's like a small jewel. So that's my inspiration for the dollhouse ceiling, with dust, air drying clay, little stars, and this is also dust, and then I was wanting some theatrical stuff going on, so this is just papermache, dust, and everything that you see gold. It's actually ochre, painted with scratched. So it's ochre, acrylic ochre, and slightly scratched with oil pastel, with oil pastel like gold. It has a name, but I can't remember. The other side, let's see if I can turn this. The other side is just like the other side, because it had a door, an entrance, as I thought about building more and more. I did the curtains. The curtains are paper with some crochet thread on this one, but I thought it was rather ick, so I didn't try on the second one. But the upholsters, or whatever it's called, I used. Are you seeing? I don't know. Let's see. Yes, I used the hands that I used to make the hands for my dolls. Hi. As holders. I was going to say, there's more. Within the idea of building more and more, I started making an entrance arch for the big palace. But then with time I thought that this hole here needed maybe a facade, and that the facade I showed you first actually was the backstage, or the back door, or the interior facade toward the garden or something. So I started to construct this wall, which would be, yes, which would be the main facade, and it's unfinished. And this would be just to put in front of the dollhouse without any, set to, I don't know, can't remember the word. Clasp, is it clasp? In order to combine the whole house and this bit. So yeah, I did use for some photos and videos. It was really fun. I'm not really fed up with it, but it's not a question of space, but it's just a question of not associating myself anymore with it. I keep doing dolls. I have a whole cabinet full of them still. Sometimes I sell some through Etsy. And I thought that it could be possible to sell it for someone who would want it to finish, probably, or I don't know. As I read that there are people who buy dollhouses in order to finish them and resell them or collect them. I don't know. The world, too much light. The world is big, and there is appetite for everything. But one thing I must say, that I'm grateful for this dollhouse, because it was after the dollhouse that I got the idea of transforming my own studio with papermache. So what you see there are corners of cardboard fridge boxes and painted. Well, that bit isn't finished either, but this one I won't sell or try to sell, and this one is still very raw. But but this column here is cardboard. Well, this is cardboard. That's wall painting. The column is paper. That is also paper. That's too much light. Ooh, gosh. Yes. Those are canvases. That's the cardboard fridge boxes. And that has paper clay. That's why it's gray. Yeah, I'm showing off a bit, but actually it's just to say that it was after this dollhouse that I decided to make this. So I am grateful for the dollhouse adventure, as nothing is by chance, and I've carried on with other walls. I'm just painting this wall with Portuguese Baroque tiles, and also that corner is entirely cardboard. I've made it 2 weeks ago. No, last week. And as soon as I've finished painting this, I will paint that and that, which is also several cardboard boxes all assembled with paper mache, and that one too. And probably you won't be able to see nothing because there's a lamp there. But yeah, so lots of cardboard, and thanks for the dollhouse. Something else I want to show you, as it's not really a replacement of dollhouses, but nowadays I'm way more keen on doing small of these. Let me escape from the light. So this was a shoe box, for example, and way easier. But also it was after the dollhouse that I've been feeling more self-assured about making these. This is my first one, and the idea is to grab famous historical portraits and transform them into little, I call them chapels, because for me history is rather sacred. I didn't tell you yet, but Mr. P is actually a reenactment project where a character, Mr. P, paints, does dollhouses, art dolls, paintings, transforms spaces, and participates in public events whilst doing live portraits, for example. But yeah, that's just blah blah. Regarding still the dollhouse, yes, would be lovely or will be lovely to sell it. I'm really into that idea. I'm a bit nervous about the shipping, as I've never shipped something that big. It's not incredibly heavy, as it's cardboard, basically. Imagine cardboard with a slightly plus because of the cardboard layers and the air drying modeling paste. And I know it's cheap for the time I've dedicated myself whilst doing it, but I would think somewhere between 500 and 700 euros plus shipping. That would be my price. Yeah, and 21 minutes. Wow. So it was lovely to see you. I hope I talked about all that I should have in order to make you feel interested. No. But if you have any questions, even if you are not keen on buying, but if you are curious about the process or the doll making, the house making process, feel free to get in touch. Au revoir. I forgot to say, I'm in Portugal. Shipping from Portugal to abroad is not that expensive, so don't be afraid. Thank you. Bye-bye.